From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV at Tommy Max, of course, at my bar. Brought to you by our good friends at the Heritage Capital Group and at Farther. Great to have them both on board. It's our weekly ball segment. You know, it's one of my favorites to get into. And an old teammate and friend has joined the conversation. Double D is here. Donovin Darius, how are you, buddy?
T-Mac, always
good to
well.
see you.
Always good to see you.
Great to have you back on the set of The Horse's
Likewise,
Mouth.
man.
You're one of my original guys way back when we first started, I think. How's life been treating you?
Man, all is well, man. Just been coaching, recently now.
Yeah.
Got a chance with several of my former teammates, all coaching in high school, helping this, this next generation.
You guys are at Providence, right?
Yeah, we're at Providence.
Right. Mo Williams, head coach, you.
Yep, Reggie Hayward, Roy Williams, Greg Jones, Chris Luzar, Joe Zelenka. So we're all over there, man. We're just having a good time.
Be a kid on that team.
That's
coach.
great. I mean, they got a lot of experience going on.
It's like the locker room all over again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Are you coaching DBs or what's
I'm coaching DBs and part of special teams as well.
Right.
So having a good time with them.
Coach Dave Campo, welcome back.
Hi, Tom.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
How you feeling about our team? We're going into a bye week. Big win up in Pittsburgh. Found a way to win once again. Showing some grit, some resolve, and just getting the job done.
I think that's who this team is.
Yeah.
It started last year when they were down in a lot of ball games, and they found a way to come back, and they're doing it. The difference between the two teams is this is a better football team than they were a year ago.
Agreed.
They haven't, during this win streak, they haven't been behind at any time during the 5 games, and so. They're finding ways to win in tough ball games and tough arenas. And I think a lot of that is Doug Peterson being, just calm, cool, and collected, and the quarterback being the same way.
Nothing like winning, right? And not just for the fans and not just for the staff, but for the players too, because you heard Doug Peterson say it. It's contagious. You want to do more. Yeah. You know that feel. I mean, who doesn't want to get off Monday and Tuesday and come back on Wednesday, right? But in all seriousness, you do. You sit there like, I like this winning. We're creatures of habit. Can I study a little more? Can I do another little bit of conditioning? Just work on my craft a little bit more. And it doesn't feel like work because you're winning. It's a special time.
No, most definitely. I mean, I think what they did last year in those last games kind of really built momentum into this year. And although it's a different team this year than it was last year, I think what they experienced last year from a character standpoint, from a perseverance standpoint, really built the foundation. And so this year they realized, hey, if we can get ahead early, if we can be consistent, if we can eliminate turnovers, if we can get turnovers, then we have a great chance to compete with anybody. And that's the case now with, the longest streak of winning in the NFL.
Since 99, and in the NFL at 5 games. So this defense has really just stepped up. The trade deadline just came and went, right? We grab a guard from Minnesota, Ezra Cleveland. We'll get to him in a minute. A lot of people pining for a edge rusher to add. You can never have too many good pass rushers, but you know what? This defense right now is playing some outstanding football. They're top 5 against the run. They're top 6 in getting off the field on third down. They're number 1 in takeaways. I get you want to add somebody, but man, they're really starting to play really, really good together.
Well, one thing we were talking about off the camera, the idea of character, with a football team. And when you make a trade or you try to bring somebody else in, a lot of it is based on whether or not they fit into the culture that you have.
Right.
And I think they have put together a group that's kind of not about themselves, but about everybody.
And can the culture absorb somebody that may not automatically fit right away, but will once they get in and that culture?
And that's something that you have to gauge as a staff. We brought in Charles Haley back in the day, and he made our team in Dallas. I mean, there's no question about it. We weren't going to Super Bowl without him. But we had such a strong culture, and I'm not. This is not any disrespect to Charles. But he was a little bit of a different cat.
Oh, yeah, it was scary.
Yeah.
All you had to do is growl at you.
And we actually were able to absorb it like you were talking about, and we had the guys that were, the Irvins and the Smiths and those kind of guys that, were all about ball. They were tunnel focused, and I think they brought them into family.
Yep.
And that's what this team has.
Yeah, and I was going to say, too, from a player standpoint, we kind of trust the coaches to bring in the key pieces, but the NFL is such a brotherhood. And so when they bring somebody in, I mean, you click. There's not really a time where you're trying to measure them out. You understand that they're brought here to help you win. And so the faster that person connects in to what the goal, the mission, and the purpose is and puts their work out on the field, I mean, again, they're accepted as if you knew them from a long time.
Absolutely.
Nothing like when that's added, right? Carnell Lake in 99, right? Remember when he came, we're like, oh, man, Carnell Lake, jeez, this is unbelievable. In 96, we added Clyde Simmons. We were like, man, Clyde Simmons from the Eagles. Like that just, and then they show it right away. They fit the culture, and it's a beautiful thing. I want to talk, since we have Double D here, I want to talk about the rules of hitting today. Look, you can't hit in the chest anymore.
It's changed. Yeah, it's changed.
You get in the chest. They see that head snap back. They're throwing a flag. You might get ejected. So where do you aim? Like, how do you tackle today, Double?
You know what? For the most part, I mean, again, I can understand. I appreciate, for the rules of safety. I understand that player safety. While at the same time, if you monitor it too much, you take away the integrity of the game. Because, like you said, it makes it very hard for players to be able to line up guys and hit. So I think for the most part, you'll always be right if you aim for the hips and lower, the waist and lower. But the key thing about that is you have a receiver or running back that just dips at the last minute. Next it's head. Now it's head, it's this, that, and the other. And so I just think that just like with any profession, with any sport, with anything, you have to adjust. And I think practice allows you to adjust, performance allows you to adjust. And once you get that in, you understand. That's why you'll see a lot of ankle tackles. You'll see a lot of guys diving at the legs. I mean, back in the day, you didn't want to be diving. You didn't want to leave your feet. But today's day, in order to be successful and keep your pockets fat, you got to do what you got to do.
You wanted to leave your feet to take his head off.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why you wanted to leave your feet. I mean, you're like, oh, I'm going to kill this guy.
When I was with the Cowboys, Darren Woodson, outstanding player in the league, safety, great young man. He was crying and complaining, when they put the no launch, the whole thing in. And I stopped the projector, and I here's what you have to do. I said to Darren, I said, look, just what Donovan just said. You have two deals. You either tackle that without that, or you don't play. It's a rule. And the safety part of it is important, but I think that when you do that, there are some times when people are going to say, what the heck are they doing? Because a guy will get a penalty for a running back dropping or a receiver dropping his head or whatever.
And they're always changing the rules. Generation to generation, they're always changing. I mean, they brought me here because they wanted, Coach Javon said he wanted to have physicality and violence to the defense. And I was as you say, I was about 220 pounds, ran a 4.42 in a 40, and my thing was punishing guys. So I wanted to hit you in your mouth because I wanted to intimidate you, not to make you have a concussion, but to intimidate you to not come in my area again. And that was what those guys that I watched and I looked up to, Steve Atwater, Ronnie Lott, that's what they did. I mean, they came in, they hit you up high, they hit you, it's like man to man, and you became the enforcer, the enforcer for your team. And so nowadays, I mean, I think if you hit a guy really hard and his body reacts, they're more likely to throw a flag than anything. And I think that's a disservice to what the guys are doing.
You do a routine tackle into the waist, and you come at them hard, and they go back. What's going to hit? The head. You can't avoid it. I mean, some tackles you can't. I think they have to have something put in there. It's an inadvertent headshot, because sometimes you don't mean to. It just happens. And sometimes you know when you're aiming. Back in the day, what's funny? I was watching it. We got to wrap up here. I was watching an old game in '98. Mike Logan came in on a blitz against I think it was Marino. It was Monday Night Football, and jumped in the air and headbutted him in the face. I was like, wow. We used to be able to do that. Can't do that.
Can't do that no more.
I get that. That's I'm okay with that. Great to see.
Hey man, it's always great, brother. Always, man. Likewise.
Coach, good to see you as usual, and we will enjoy the bye week and do it again next week. All right, that'll do it for us. We do it every week, talking Jags football, talking NFL. It's Coach Campo and it's other former players that'll sit right here at the bar. Check out their profiles at iwannabuzz.com. This conversation and many, many others. So until next time, y'all stay safe out there and be cool, man. And we'll see you right here on the Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
The team at Heritage Capital Group is special because it's a collection of people across the spectrum.
We have people who have been in the shoes of owners that are looking to buy and sell, and professionals that have executed transactions helping buy and sell companies for decades.
I think when you talk to us, see what our experience is, see what our skills are, see the reach that we have, you will be very happy with the recommendation.